Welcome back, weary travelers of the galaxy. This is the Stupendous Wave, and let's get right into the update involving the Acolyte. The Acolyte is one of the Disney Plus Star Wars shows that I am most looking forward to in the coming years. It will follow a dark side acolyte, of course as the title infers, in the waning days of the High Republic era. The show was created by Leslie Headland, who in various interviews has been opening up about the series, revealing that the Acolyte will most likely be a female-led character. Before we explore the brand new comments made by Leslie, let's talk about first the synopsis for the Acolyte. The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take us into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. Recently in an interview, Leslie talked about a lot of her inspiration behind the Acolyte, citing George Lucas and the story that he began to tell in The Phantom Menace all the way back in the Star Wars prequels. She mentions that The Phantom Menace is the most important of the Star Wars prequels when concerning the Acolyte series. Being the end of the High Republic era, it's possible that the Acolyte takes place around 100 years before the events of the Phantom Menace. However, the exact timeline is yet to be confirmed. The Acolyte series, though, may be way more important than we all realize, and will have massive repercussions on the Jedi Order, which will ultimately result in the Jedi Order and its construction and operation the way that we see it in the Phantom Menace. As of the era of the High Republic, the Jedi operate very differently, and are less involved with the Republic as a whole. But over the course of the Acolyte, the Jedi will be heavily involved, and we'll get to see exactly how they transform. And since the Acolyte is likely told from a dark side perspective, I would love to see it shine the light on the fact that the Jedi are far from perfect beings in the galaxy, and have even done some things in the past that have been outright evil. How cool would it be, in fact, if one of the Jedi was in fact the main antagonist of the Acolyte series? In the synopsis, it says emerging dark side powers, meaning we likely could be following a potential Sith Lord as of the time of the Acolyte series, getting to follow a potential Sith as our protagonist over the course of the series, and really delve more deep into the culture of the Sith and dark side traditions in general. Anyway, these are Leslie's comments in her recent interview, and why currently The Phantom Menace is the most influential piece of Star Wars media for the series, and will be most connected to The Phantom Menace. I know there were varying reactions to it, and certainly there were a lot of people that had grown up with the original trilogy who were disappointed by it, but I actually was very intrigued by why George Lucas had started us at that particular point in time. I kind of wondered, but what happened to lead up to this? That's kind of where my Star Wars brain went, and was like, how did we get here? And why are the Jedi like this? When they are in power, why are they acting this way? And how is it that they're not having the reaction that you would think that they would to Anakin's presence, and what Qui-Gon Jinn is saying about how passionately he feels about training him and bringing him into the fold? It's like even the discovery of Darth Maul is kind of met with this like, interesting kind of feeling. So I was just one to think. My brain has been puzzled around this area and wondered what's going on here and what has been going on here. I think that this is an absolute brilliant way to take the Acolyte series, explaining why the Jedi seem so dispassionate over the events of the Phantom Menace in particular, why they don't seem perplexed by the coming of the Chosen One, and why they don't seem perplexed by the return of the Sith. Why is it that the Jedi Council are so hesitant to train Anakin Skywalker? Beyond what is already explained in the Phantom Menace about his power and the much fear that they sense in him, it's clear that the Acolyte will be deeply ingrained in Jedi lore and what the Jedi ultimately become. And I hope that the Acolyte follows multiple seasons, as I do not think that this is a small story, and could have the biggest implications on the overall Star Wars universe that we've seen thus far out of a Disney Plus show. In addition to this, we also heard that the Acolyte will begin filming in early 2022, meaning that as we all likely predicted, we could see the release of the Acolyte in 2023, likely the later part of 2023, or perhaps sometime in November to pair with Rogue Squadron. In terms of her writing room, Leslie also had an interesting way that she approached it, as she explained in an interview that she wanted to be challenged. This is her quote: "So that is what I really wanted, an active conversation between my writers and myself, and not so much a room full of people that would kind of just automatically agree with what I had to say, which is good sometimes. Sometimes it's nice to have everyone love my pitch. It's not Star Wars, but I think a lot about Picard and the way that he would utilize his crew and say, what do you guys think? Any suggestions? What should we do next? And kind of hearing the debates and the sort of Socratic conversation that would result. I wanted to put the room together in that way. That also means hiring people that are not necessarily the diehard cutthroat fan that I am when it comes to Star Wars stuff. It's weird to be the person who's going, well, in 325 BBY, and everyone's like, what are you talking about? Hold on, I'll send you a link. Everyone's like, should that be another person that's doing that? Why is the showrunner doing that? And I'm like, here's a picture. That is what it looks like. End quote. I do think it is an interesting method to have people in the room that aren't necessarily Star Wars fans, or as she would say in another interview, people that haven't even seen Star Wars at all. I think with what we've seen in the past though, those that really respect and know the series like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are going to do the best job honoring the fans in the franchise as a whole. And as long as Leslie knows that, and herself being a massive Star Wars fan continues with that, I don't see any problems with the Acolyte. Just yet, obviously, as again, they haven't even started production yet. Anyway guys, what are your thoughts on this? And what are your thoughts on the massive implications that the Acolyte could have on the Phantom Menace? And go out of its way to explain why the Jedi are like they are in the Phantom Menace. What do you think the ultimate reason is? And as always, my friends, thank you guys so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.